What's up, everybody? I'm Chef Mike Jerez.
I'm John Baruti.
And we are the Million Dollar Food Guys. Don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell.
We are looking for 25 more subscribers out of this episode. That's our goal.
Every single time. Every single time we do this, looking for 25 more subscribers.
That's right.
But if you ring that bell, you'll be in contact of every time we put out new videos.
And
which will be all the time.
We want, so I don't think, I'm not calling you slackers, I'm not doing that, but you're not involved as much. We want to know, A, what you want to hear about, right?
Correct.
We want comments, right? Because me and Mike, listen, we don't script this. You could probably figure that out. We basically go put the camera on and talk. We have a subject and then we talk. So we want to know what you guys want to talk about. Do you want to talk about the industry? Do you want to talk about help? Do you want to talk about minimum wage, which we'll not this episode, but we're going to talk about, right? And look, what do you want to talk about? And make it in the comments.
Absolutely, and we'll cover it and we'll look it out. Might even have you on as a guest if you're local.
Ooh, yes,
that'd be awesome too, right?
Ones. Yeah,
if you're
we haven't
even
had a
local.
guest in a while.
We got a couple of great episodes coming up too, so make sure you subscribe and ring that bell because you are going to find out some really cool stuff. We got a lot of video at our stop at my restaurant at John's Bakery. It's going to be kind of cool behind the scenes stuff, so stay tuned. We got a lot of cool stuff coming up.
What are we talking about today?
Today we are talking about, we ended the last episode about our great summer and how awesome we did.
Yes.
But we also talked about the help issue, which we, ended up with kind of...
Best summer, worst help.
Correct.
And again, I want to reiterate when I say worst help. We have core people that are phenomenal.
Yes.
But that core people can't get it done in the summer. We need additional help. We're sure restaurants, sure businesses. We need additional help. You cannot find additional help. You cannot.
For me, the worst is not worst help, but I'm going to say less help.
Yeah.
We did more with less.
Yeah.
My staff killed it with the best summer on a shoestring. They did my core guys did triple the work of a normal person. A lot of them wanted to do that because they couldn't deal with the animals that are out there.
But it's not fair. Listen, it's not fair.
It's terrible.
It is.
It's terrible. So it was a... so this is why I brought vodka in, by the way. Salud. You guys know this, industry people.
I'm virgin, and we're going to go into why in a couple of seconds because, listen, the transition here is that we had a great summer.
Correct.
We struggled with help. Me and Michael, we've been in this industry. Michael reminded me 35 years, which basically, if you do the math, we're both 50, is 15. Now, we were both in my dad's restaurant younger than that, but Mike's probably about right. Around the 15 mark is when we were hardcore into it, right?
So we're getting into it, sure.
So it's 35 years. That's crazy. And it's taken a toll on both of our bodies, right? It just has. We both have issues. Mike's had diabetes.
Correct.
Right? I've had stomach issues my whole life, unfortunately. I've just been, unfortunately, diagnosed with colon cancer, which sucks. I had put a video out about that. Yeah, screw cancer. I'm gonna be fine.
Correct.
But and not saying I'm not saying that this industry gave me cancer, but I'll tell you what it did do. Working so much, 16-hour days, 7 days a week. Every time I should have gone to the doctor, I didn't. And why? I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. Right? My wife, my mother, you got to go I'll do it tomorrow. Now, in my instance, because of my anatomy and what happened when I was an infant, I should have been going every 5 years for a colonoscopy. I waited 20 years.
Yeah.
20 years, right? So the industry didn't do it to me, but my work schedule, and I'm not blaming anybody but me. I'm the a-hole, right? But I should have gone. If I had a 9-to-5 job or I had a much normal job, I probably would have, all right, I'll go. No time. So this is what we want to talk about. This channel is basically for the food industry. That's why we call ourselves Million Dollar Food Guys.
Correct.
Not because we're millionaires, but because, we've done millions of dollars over the years. And it's directed to the food industry, right? Michael, I don't know if we're going to talk about it or not, but he's had his own challenges
Absolutely.
physically.
I have no toes. I had my toes removed because I'm a diabetic and I didn't take care of myself for a lot of years.
Yeah.
Diabetes runs in my family, but I refused to accept that and was diagnosed later in my 30s with type 2 diabetes. And
is it still classified 2 or are you 1
no,
now?
I'm 2. I'm still 2.
Okay.
And did I listen to doctors about losing weight, doing a diet, stop drinking, stop eating, all this stuff? Look what I do for a living. I'm a chef in a restaurant. I work 14 hours a day. I get off. Yeah. I drink myself in the ground, and I eat everything impossible at 2 in the morning.
At least you get a minute.
Okay?
But we don't do crack.
That's reality. That's reality. Never did crack. Just drank myself.
Okay.
But that's reality. And all the other chefs out there know exactly what I'm talking about.
This is why we're talking about this. Not because Woe use us or whatever.
Comment below, because if you know, make a comment about that. Because
yeah.
You understand what I'm exactly saying. We don't eat right. We eat all bad foods. We drink ourselves in the ground. It's part of the whole deal.
Right.
And I never really paid attention for 10 years till it caught up to me. And now all the repercussions at 50 are I'm losing toes, I'm losing limbs, I'm losing
our situation.
My eyesight shot. I get a needle in my eye every month.
Okay, that freaks me out. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's a whole other
but
thing.
The reason we're talking about it is this situation has basically forced both of us, Michael a couple years ago, me now, to not work as much. Right?
Correct.
So we are. Listen, when we say we don't work as much. Like, we're normal 8-hour days now, which is like it's a joke, right? Like, normal people.
It's like part-time. It's part-time. It is part-time.
It's part-time.
For us, it's part-time.
And I almost feel guilty. Like, right. I go home at 3-4 o'clock, and I'm like, but I physically can't do it.
Animals.
Mike can't do it. So the reason we're talking to you is before this happens to you, and God, I don't wish cancer on anyone or diabetes or anything, but the working so much, not paying attention to your health, not working out, not doing the right things, not eating right? We have, we've talked about it. We have a friend, Lou Smith, right?
Yep.
Owns a good friend of Michael.
Glendon Manasquan.
Right? So he changed his whole diet, right? And he was unhealthy like us. He's getting older like us. And he said, enough is enough. And you have to do that. Like, I was talking to, every Wednesday I go out and I collect. At my customers, and I'm talking to people, and like they still don't get it. Like I'm forced to get it now. And probably when somebody was talking to me, Mike's been going through this for years, so he's had to come home earlier for years. And he's like, John, you were the one who told me this, right?
Yeah.
You're not listening to yourself, and he was right.
So we've had conversations on the phone for hours,
literally,
and he was telling me. Blah blah blah, and I'm like,
killing yourself.
You
gotta do it. But don't be like my dad.
Now
don't die early.
It's reversed. I'm telling him,
right,
get the hell out.
Right.
And physically, I have neuropathy. I have neuropathy in my hands, my feet. I can't feel anything. So if I get cut or burned, I don't feel it, and I could bleed out or burn myself really bad. So I had to retire from cooking 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And
hold on.
I just run the business.
So if you've been to Mike's restaurant, which I have, right? And I've been to Mike's restaurant when Mike's not there, right? Me and my wife will go late, and Mike's not there, but he'll see me earlier in the day, but he's not there.
Right.
The restaurant's still phenomenal, right? It's still phenomenal. Why? Because Mike set it up that way. My bread, it still gets produced properly. I'm not physically there.
Correct.
And it still is the same product that it was last year, the year before that. And us as owners, and that's, listen, if you listen to us and you're an employee, the same thing. You gotta look at life, right? And that's hard to register for mental patients.
Absolutely.
It's hard to register. But that being said,
we are wired very different than everybody else in the world, and all you restaurant people out there know that.
Yeah.
Restaurant people are wired very, very different.
Yeah.
And I always say, what the analogy of a restaurant person? You take 2 rooms, okay? You put a keg in each room, one of normal people and one of restaurant people. The restaurant people will drink that keg and break through the wall of the other one and drink their keg too.
Okay, he's right.
Because that's us.
Right.
We're just absolutely out of control.
Right.
And it gets to the point when we both turn 50. He's actually 2 days older than me, by the way.
Yep. 5th, 7th July.
Son of a bitch.
No, sorry.
2 days older than me. That you realize enough's enough, and it's time to hang up. And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that feel the same thing. Their bones are aching. They wake up every day, everything's creaking. You know the story. You get home at 2 a.m. You're eating crazy shit.
Our next episode, this one we wanted to just breach the subject, right? Talk about it, talk about our ailments, talk about how difficult the industry is and what it does to us. The next episode is going to be about, and listen, we're working through this ourselves, so it's going to be a work in progress, but we're going to start talking about what's the next step, right? We're getting older in the industry. We can't physically work every day to do the hard stuff that we used to do.
Absolutely.
The physical baking, the physical cooking and stuff. What's our next step? Where are we going? Right? What are we doing? Are we selling? Are we saving for retirement? Are we putting people in place that we should? Are we talking about, and me and you have talked about this, are we thinking about making an employee a possible, I don't want to say partner, but more invested so they can make more money if we make more money because they're doing the physical work? And these are hard decisions. These aren't things that you just say, okay, I'll ask Bob if he wants to be my partner. We worked, lived, sweated all these years, and that's not easy to do, to transition to something like that, right?
It's crazy how we have to make.
It's something.
I mean, where do old chefs go? I mean, think about it. Do we go to diners or do we go to pasture? They shoot us out in the pasture.
Yeah.
I mean, where do old chefs go?
Yeah.
So
that's what we want to talk about.
So that's our next episode.
And 25 subscribers is our goal. So hit the thing.
Hit the subscribe and hit that bell because we want to have you view us for the next one.
That's right. Comment on below on what you want us to talk about. Tell us if you like us. Tell us if we suck. We don't care. We'll listen. We'll correspond back. But that's it. That's this episode.
Thank you so much. Have a great time.
See you on the next one.
Thank you.
Thank you. Just going to start it and walk in. Okay. Okie dokie. And we're back.
Ready?